Philly's like, oh my god, finally a game the Mongols can win. It's the battle of the trash civs. We've got Mongols versus French. Voldemar going up against none other than the Duck, a.k.a. Kiljardi. That's right, top 10 player. Versus, I think Voldemar's currently sitting at top 35. This will be a fun one, actually. Dry Arabia. Spawn, not too crazy, right? This isn't like a broken spawn from Mongol trade. So we should have a quite spicy game on our hands. Did they agree to this in lobby? It's kind of funky, right? Like, I don't know if they random civs here, but the other part that's quite comedial to me is right now, out of these two players, I know, of course, Voldemar plays a lot of Mongols, but I think we can all agree the person in, like, the top 30 that's playing the most Mongols is actually Kiljardi. He plays more Mongol games than anyone else I've seen. So it's kind of funny to see him actually on the receiving end of this. Kiljardi's one of the few people I've seen having some reasonable success with the Mongols. But I gotta admit, like, quite often when I'm seeing him whip them out, it almost feels more like an out skill than an out draft. Because it's very hard to find a matchup where the Mongols feels like an out draft, bar the Malians. I think that might be the one. But Mongols French, quite an interesting one in itself, right? Like, the difficulty in this matchup for Mongols, and why I'd say this is quite French favored, is when Mongols try to trade, the French can just block out knights, right? And it's very difficult to kind of like get off the ground and get that Keshik scaling together. Not to mention the fact that every time you lose a trader, it feels doubly painful, not just because you lost economy, but because your opponent is gradually scaling more villages over time. What I'm curious about is whether this is going to be some sort of 2 TC build. I'm also wondering if Voldemar is going to have a reaction to that idea that trade might get shut down by knights. Maybe we see something like Deerstone instead. Could you imagine if this actually turned into a 1 TC versus 1 TC? Now, this is something I wasn't really expecting. I didn't know if he was going to try for the outpost rush still. I mean, in fairness, it's actually a broken spawn for an outpost rush. I wonder if you do this all the time because of how much slower your timing is. But one thing to keep in mind, folks, look at that spawn. You drop an outpost here, it's kind of GG, right? Because your opponent can't play 2 TC. He's just stuck. And what is that? Marv just tried to bribe me with £10. All right, let me slide that in my pocket. I'll go buy some more of those Genji socks. Thank you very much for life. Appreciate you, buddy. Okay, so Scout immediately sniffs this one out. Voldemar up to free spinning already. You can already see the nerf of the passive stone generation, by the way. Because, like, right now, you'd be doubling up to 4. Right? But you've got that gap. It means you've got less pressure arriving early. And that's really important because it looks like Voldemar is trying to get enough gold for what here? Oh, no. Wait, no. He got scammed. Oh, Kiljardi. Talk about the very last second there. I think he's after the first knight. So that's huge, getting those kills. Oh, that is brutal. Okay, a little bit of a miss micro there. Kiljardi wanted to go back to work on a tree, not on that. So what was this gold about? Ecotech? I guess that would make sense, right? Because you get the 30% discount, so you should have just enough for probably the wood. It could also just be enough for siege engineering, right? I think it's enough for siege engineering. I always forget the cost of siege engineering. It's quite cheap. My instincts are telling me, like, he should have enough. No, it's 125 gold. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, to me, it's kind of weird. Like, I feel as if siege engineering should cost mostly wood and barely any gold. Considering what you usually need it to get out of, like sticky situations, right? Go back to Golden Tower? No, you can't. There's more spears coming. That's a death sentence, Philly. Like, there's no way Voldemar stops at 3 spears, right? You're expecting at least 5. Weirdly enough, Voldy went up to 6. And what the f... I'm sorry, what? Oh, no. Are you kidding me right now? There is no way this game is real. And Kiljardi immediately with the right next to the problem archery range. Oh my god, he still doesn't know. He genuinely still doesn't know. No way. Alright, this is by far one of the funniest openings I've seen to a game in a long time. Of course it had to involve the 2 worst civs in the game. But I was like, oh, don't mind me, just gonna hop in my outpost now. Oh, this is incredible. And the weird part is, look at what Voldemar done. Like, he tried to go and attack with a horseman. Oh, no. What a messy game. Like, you're now bidding horsemen into an opponent who opens spears. It doesn't get much worse than this. Honestly, Voldemar could have just went for Silvertree, but why prolong a game, right? You've got a Dark that's injured its little leg, and its bill's bent out of place. You know what you do to a Dark that's that injured? Put it out of his misery. And this is going to be him firing all the cylinders. Stables drop coming in against an opponent who can't gather gold right now. I mean, honestly, I think actually Kiljardi's going to have to go Marketplace. Like, well, no, he can walk for the gold back here, right? It's not the end of the world. It's pretty bad, though. Especially if, for example, this is a rush into, say, Keshiks. There's nowhere near enough for a double pump, right? But you should definitely get that first one out, because if you block out this gold, I actually think Kiljardi is just going to call it. Because he'll have to drop a Marketplace and sell to get gold, right? To then also drop a Blacksmith to then get Siege Engineering. That's a lot of resources. Here you go. First Keshik now on the way. Oh boy. And Voldemort. No. Like, Kiljardi thought he was going to trade. Okay, now this is absolutely atrocious. Archers are on the way. However, he's got enough for like double Keshik at this pacing. In fact, he's going to make sure he doesn't need to leave. Outpost is going up. And Kiljardi, I mean, he can try to die, but this is a losing fight, and he knows it. Immediately backs away. And he still hasn't addressed this problem. This is like the most Kiljardi way of playing this messy game, right? Like, oh no, he's blocked my gold and my stone. Now, most players in this situation would be like, oh no, I guess I'm going to have to like build a bunch of scouts or horsemen, and they'll burn down the outpost. Meanwhile, there's Kiljardi. Oh no, he's blocked my gold and stone. I guess I'll go block his. Unfortunately, Voldemar had the right idea. Outpost goes up, and all aggression goes down and away. Kiljardi now just going to have to try and commit to a burn down here. And he needs to be quick about it. The longer he waits, the more likely the arrow slits is going to be there as well, which will make this 10 times harder. Here we go. Villagers pulled, so he will be able to access the gold, but no doubt, and Voldemar definitely has an advantage now. Spin him in the meantime. I'll get sniped down, so outpost is going to be lost. Keshiks are being held at home for the time being. Voldemar, funnily enough, actually even adding in the horsemen due to the gap on gold gathering because he had to build up that outpost. And a very early blacksmith play. That's very smart, actually, by Voldemar. If you realize what the logic is behind it, right? It's like his opponent has been locked off of gold for a few minutes, so there's no blacksmith rush from the French. It means you can get a huge tech advantage, and you're against mass archers. So Undermesh genuinely just breaks the entire fight. Avoid. We'll have to bide a little bit of time here. Only 2 horsemen, 2 Keshiks. Second TC is on the way. I really don't blame Kiljardi for this. If he plays 1 TC from this position, I feel like it's just a recipe for disaster. He needs to find a way of applying some pressure quickly afterwards, though. Well, that's one way to guarantee your opponent is not going to drop another outpost on your gold and your stone. Build the biggest outpost possible yourself. No trade hurts your soul. I kind of understand the logic behind it. Voldemar saw an opportunity to end the game. The problem is, because he was a bit slow getting into the Keshiks and had to put the outpost, he didn't get in position to use the Yam, right? Like, I got to give it to him. Kiljardi, this may have been an absolutely clowny, messy start, but he played it right. Voldemar. I'm going to try to poke and prod. I really hate the mass horsemen so much. The weird part is if Voldemar just fights, I'm pretty sure he kills all these. It's confusing me that he's running away. Like, just stab him in the face, please. I mean, he can run away from you, but like that doesn't win him the fight, right? Yeah, a little bit funky from Voldy. I think he was maybe trying to ambush with the spears, but that's just not worth it. I'd rather you just attack into him and keep control of the map, right? Instead, you give him the breathing room, and I'm not even sure Voldemar knows it's 2 TC yet. He might suspect it, but he hasn't seen it. I mean, actually, he should know, right? The fact that there are no knights here should tell Voldemar very clearly this is 2 TC. Because if it wasn't 2 TC, there would be knights. The only reason you're poor man horsing this long is because you're spending resources elsewhere. Undermesh now on the way from Voldemar. He should be able to dive reasonably well here. Opponent doesn't have any steeled arrow, right? wall's now going up. This is unfortunate. The timing on this Voldemar. You know, at this stage, usually when you have 6 Keshiks, you can split 1 or 2 off, right? You take a little bit of a risk here. Because, like, realistically, you're against the French. They're not just going to sit in their base. The Civ loves to get on the map. I want to mention the fact that, you know, he doesn't really have much in the way of sheep, right? Yeah, he's completely out of sheep at this stage. Well, that is just wild. Voldemar now fully backing off. Are you kidding me? I can't tell if like lay the blame at the door of Voldemar or the praise at the door of Killjardy in this one. I mean, Killjardy's done a good job to get back into this. But Voldemar, it's crazy to think the position he found himself in, and now it comes to this. And at what point do you say, you know, is it Voldy, is it the Mongols? Like, the Mongols are quite underwhelming in a lot of phases in the game right now. But it definitely felt like there was a window of opportunity here. Now that window has just been shut firm. Okay, so Phil's bow, like, I love how he's just chipping in on so much this as he is, like, the Mongol spammer aficionado, at least last season. So Philly, let's try and figure out how much of a mistake you think it is from Voldemar. Compared to 10,000 olive oil not being used. Bigger a mistake, smaller mistake. I had to. Siege Engineer now coming from Voldemar. You know, if he just camps in the ram with the spearman, I think this works, actually. So ram now coming up. On the very edge, Voldemar knows his distances. Outpost is coming in. Archers are going to front line. Steel Arrow is coming in soon, so the opportunity, the advantage for Voldemar is shrinking fast here. Maneuver speed arrow used, and look at the speed on that ram! Shuffling in fast onto the incomplete outpost. Needs to be careful about losing these spearmen like this. I really don't like the fact that he's just sending them in. I'd rather the spearmen, at least some of them, hide in the ram. Instead, the mosh pit comes in. All of a sudden, he needs it now that Killjardy started adding spears of his own. Outpost goes down. Front line is failing for Killjardy. The archers are at risk of being exposed. Knight count only at 2. Meanwhile, Keshik count up at 12. I mean, surely you think Voldemar would be able to break this, but instead, it feels like his hopes of breaking the TC had broken themselves. Wow. I can't believe that. You'd think maybe with a focus fire, the Keshiks on the TC, they'd be away, but the moment Steel Arrow came through, Voldemar bails. Now what? Voldemar going in for the 1-1-1 on a delay, moving into archers. This is actually getting away from him fast, though. We're talking about a 13 eco lead. Second TC is still up. It's kind of crazy, right? Like, you think that first few minutes of gameplay, it's like the beginning of an epic story. You know, the ones that begin is like, you're probably wondering how I got here. And then the story ends with Killjardy actually winning. Oh my god. You know, I think that's the real reason why we're watching this Mongol game. Philly's in the chat, and we know it's like deeply offending him. So what we need to do is we need to quickly just adjust the camera angle. We need to come over here, and then we just get really close to that, and then... There we go. Phil's bow in shambles right now. Keshik count is getting pretty high. This is a hard comp to maintain without trade, though. That's the thing, right? Like, I find usually whenever you see Yam, Deerstone, Keshik assistance makes sense, but you usually want infantry as the core. Because it's just not affordable to keep spamming Keshiks. If you slip up and make one mistake, they all flop dead, right? That's the crazy part to me, right? Like, it's almost like Killjardy just opening with a few horsemen freaked Voldemar out when you'd think the play would have been Spearman Archers. I think what happened is he kind of got in his own head about the idea that his opponent didn't have gold, and he's like, oh my god, 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 Killjardy doesn't have gold, which means I can have knights and he can't. But it's like, you done Deerstone. The +2 is Rams. Voldemar's only hope. He's the only Rams boy now. He saw the Walla prize pool. He's like, I need some other way of making money. Only Rams time. 3 Rams coming in. This could break the TC. The problem is whether it's quick enough. It's a 20 eco lead now for Kiljardi. Horsemen Knights are hunting in the meantime. They could actually be cutting reinforcements. Archer count getting scarily high here on the side of Orange. Rams reveal themselves. Another attempt at an outpost. We've been here exactly before. This time, though, he's going to cancel it before the bounty is given over. Knights now raiding to the base. It's going to be a little bit of a distraction as a dive comes into the main of France. Keshik's torches out. TC not looking long for this world. Rams, I don't know what happened here. Yeah, that looks like a missed micro. They got body blocked or something. Villagers trying for the clutch repair. Dive comes around the back, and it looks like the TC has been broke, but can he now break the base? Attack speed arrow gets used early. But I don't think it's going to find more value down the line. I just don't think it's going to be good enough either way. This game looks like it's already over. Killing the TC simply isn't enough anymore. You need to kill the base. Keshiks have been reduced. 6 of them left over. Archer Mass needs to retreat through. Other side of this, Knights have been cutting reinforcements. Can Voldemar do this? Dive getting more difficult. Only a handful of cav units left over. Buildings are being deleted behind this, but it's a 22 eco lead at the tail end of it. And you've thrown everything at this fight and come up dry. Now he clown cars. Nah, this is done. No doubt about it. 25 to 31 military. He can try to do some clown car shenanigans. I just don't see it really working out here. Kiljardi is of a one-track mind. Archers now and forever. Oh my god. Yeah, Voldemar's not even shooting him. It's like, he's panicking. He's not even getting a single shot out. Wow. Well, that was brutal. Voldemar now trying to reboom to the Keshiks again. Second wave Archers is finally going to arrive. I've got to say, it looked like Kiljardi was throwing away his cav. I think he done exactly what he needed to. He bought so much time. But Kiljardi really needs to learn that wood is meant for stuff. Like, you are a duck, you are not a woodpecker. Please use it. Farm's now on the way. Plenty of room for them. Actually, if he just switches into mass farms at this point, and then spams Knights and Horsemen, that's going to be the easiest GG you could ever imagine. Oh my god. I don't think he necessarily meant to end up with this much wood stockpiled, but it's worked out for him. New walls also going up. There you go, guys. He's finally using that wood. And more archers coming. Meanwhile, Voldemar going in on the Keshiks again after losing this many is insane. This is so difficult now. He is at least stockpiling a lot of food. There is a world in which Voldemar goes for castle here. You know, the interesting thing is with that TC being gone, there is kind of an awkward gold stance on the front side, but it's offset by the fact he's got corner gold, right? Double corner gold at that. Kind of an outrageously good spawn in the end on that element. Terrible for the TC boom due to the forward stone, but the gold nicely layered. Keshik raid coming in. Looks like the walls didn't actually go up in time here. But surprise! It's mass archers! Okay, so Voldemar just wants to do a little bit of raid damage, pause his opponent, because he's definitely teching up. This, I feel like, is going to be a step readout game, but I have my doubts on actually having to go that. I really, really wish this had been a Kurotai game, but it can't be, right? Okay, thank God. Yeah, no, this is correct. I think if you don't go for Kurotai, you are gambling, because if your opponent senses that you are teching and he walks out with as many archers, you will die in your own base, right? So this is the correct call, because now if Kiljardi senses correctly that a tech up's happening and he rushes into Voldemar's base, Voldemar's gonna have the double aura stack to beat you, because he'll have a Castley's Light, right, with the Kurotai buff. And then halfway through the fight, Veterancy will come through. So yeah, correct call made by him. It's a hard choice to make, right, when you consider that you went Deerstone, so you don't have any eco-inflation whatsoever. Currently, we are seeing a 1 TC, 1 TC. Farm count has to be at what, 30? Yeah, 25 right now for Kiljardi. He might just mirror the tech up. Voldemar has done the right thing. He's prepped the pack up tech so he can move the Kurotai ASAP. And here you go. Veterancy immediately queued up. Keshiks as well. Level 2 ranged armor. This is do or die. If Voldemar can't break the base with this, he'll never win this game. Killjadi immediately stockpiles. What worries me about Killjadi's comp, like, he needs to be so much quicker than this, because the issue you now have is because you went archers and not knights, you can't play Royal Institute, right? So you don't get any value out of Cantled Saddles. There's no way you're going to transition Arbitrary straight away. So you just need the fastest tech up possible with Guildhall, because you need archer veterancy right now. Khan? What? Well, it's a good thing the Kurultai isn't attached to the Khan anymore, or this would already be over. Voldemar trying to find a way back in the game off the back of relics here, but that did just get scouted by the Knights. I don't like that Voldemar's reacting to 3 Knights like this. Like, he needs to be in the base right now. The only other way is if he has Siege Engineering improved on the way, he can get his hands on 2 mangoes. And that can maybe recover his game. But he needs them really badly here. Tech about to complete. Killjadi, he's going to get the upgrades. No way. I can't believe this. Killjadi should have been punished in the midst of this, but 3 Knights is all it takes to distract Voldemar. It's like a cat seeing a shiny toy, hearing a little ball rattle inside something here. He heard it and he came running. Keshiks now going to march in. Wait, Killjadi, where's the veterancy? What? That was a little bit late. Arbitrary now being queued up. Dive's coming in. Kurultai is on the way as well. This could still work for Voldemar. There's no strong defense to hide behind right now for Killjadi. Farm's now getting raided. Spearman spreading a bit too wide here. Archers are going to front line it, but the Kurultai needs to unpack ASAP. Rams hitting onto the School of Cavalry in the meantime. And now it's going to be a bleed through. Mass Archers still 30 seconds away from their upgrade here. Killjadi, I think that small delay on getting the gold needed might be enough here. Voldemar down to just 7 Keshiks left over. He needs to get more damage done right now. Eco count is getting closer to even. Kurultai is unpacking. This is the buff and damage he needed. An extra +2. Essentially being like an Imperial Age 5 upgrade on ranged armor. Or ranged damage, rather. However, men-at-arms are now here. And Voldemar is going to have to leave with his tail between his legs. So close, yet so far. Killjadi will now hunt him down. And thank you very much to the raid, Crackety. You are just here in time to see us not reset the day since Voldemar wins clock. Because this isn't a winner. This is looking like a wiener. 8 eco difference between them, but the military is a mile. 26 to 55 military. Guildhall has been trickling up behind this, so over time it's just going to get worse. And the Kurultai tries to camouflage itself against the stone, but apparently it's a little bit colorblind and forgot that brown is a little bit different to gray. Oh no. What a hold. Killjadi, it looks like he ducked up there, right? Like he didn't actually have the veterancy coming through until a little bit later. Arbitrary start to get queued up out of forward archery range of where the enemy is, but it doesn't even matter. 9 eco lead remains. Military ahead. And Voldemar went all in. He went ham, taro. He went more ham than Pumbaa on the map. Because he went Deerstone, he went Kurultai. He has no scalability whatsoever. Now he might not ever. What's he got? The relics at least coming in, so it looks like it's probably going to be... Are we looking at 3? Okay, no, it is going to be a 4-1 split, so that's good. Voldemar, that's going to be his balance point. But he now still needs to push, because if this goes too late, the Guildhall is a thing, and it is disgusting what it does. It basically gives you Imperial for free, it feels like, in games like this. Archer mass stand their ground. Villagers are being sniped. Voldemar is costing him dearly. Crossbows now added in means that there's no way you're denting the base like this. I actually think Voldemar, the crazy thing to me is, like, you know, even on that delayed assault, 1 mango, just 1 mango. The dream, the difference it could have made here. But it might be too late. He's not even backing away anymore. Voldemar. He's looking as lost as Nemo right now. I just don't see the way of this working. The difference is Nemo can't drown, but you can. Wow. 58 to 25. Eco difference only 5. Sacred Site's now being captured as well. Kiljadi just trying to contest there. And I don't know what's happened here. Voldemar's completely forgot about it. There we go. He at least remembered in the end. But now we have a problem. Mangoes is your only recovery arc. Only I see bigger problems. Your eco is stretched thin. You're rebooming archers. You're trying to get a front line. Where are the crossbows? You've seen your opponents building men-at-arms. Maybe he feels like he can't do that because arbitrary versus crossbows you lose. But these Mangoes, I mean, right now you don't have a strong front line for them. It is enough to at least scare away Kiljadi, but if he continues this trend into men-at-arms, it's going to be quite perplexing to see how Voldemar will hold back that tide. And Guildhall must be trickling quite a bit now. Yeah, up to 800 food. Honestly, he could be Imperial Age by 32 minutes. That has to be on Voldemar's mind as well. Like, anyone who's played against Guildhall knows this feeling. You think the game is even. You think it's under control. You think you're doing well. And then suddenly, what? Why are you Imperial Age? How did that happen? Some people will then take to Reddit and be like, oh my god, French is OP. I can't believe they get so many extra villagers, but it's not that. If there's one detail that makes this Civ kind of seem absurd, it's probably Guildhall. Arbitrary as a unit are pretty insane as well, but the Guildhall is really what gets you to that stage. And yeah, turtling is not enough for Voldy. If Voldy turtles, he loses in 8 minutes instead of 5, right? He needs to attack. He needs to attack, or he needs to go for a second TC. He's gathering a lot of wood right now, but it's all just getting invested, so he's definitely looking to attack. 3 Sacred Sites have at least been locked in. Arbitrary. Marching around. Looks like the Keshiks are planning to burn through. If he gets caught in the middle of this burn through, it's going to cost him quite a bit. Fjarba's already arriving. Backstab maneuver is coming in. Voldemar does see this ahead of time. He's going to dodge it out. Clever lad. Okay, that guy not so clever though. Con has got a death wish here. And guys, it is indeed going to be Imperial Age on the way. Guildhall has it not even be pulled yet. Remember, the difference in this game compared to your standard fast Imp French game is that he set up farms, right? He was pinned in his base long enough that he spent over 2,000 wood on farms. So he doesn't have that same issue you see where the French just have this pump into Imp and the economy is weak. His economy is just going to be very dominant from here. And it's all because of the fact that he's now got, what, 40 farms? 33. 33 and scaling. And my, oh my, what a statement we've got coming in here. Red Pulse drop in the center of the map on the fat 8k that is closest to Voldemar's base. Well, that is a statement of intent. So we've got 6 archery rangers coming in after the landmark. Here we go. Mango. Ooh! Okay, that's a big one. Kiljadi. Oh my god. He is so lucky the other 2 Mangoes were behind that. Villagers with the overstack almost costing him the entire lead. Red Pulse now retreated to a safer location, but this means Voldemar's going to try to exploit this. Now that he knows the tech up is happening. Kiljadi, 18 on a Red Pulse, may be a little bit too slow here. Have to stand his ground. Pavis would be perfect right now. I think he's worried about the Mangoes though, and he should be. That, for 3 Mangoes, you've got to be kidding me. That was atrocious. I mean, it's at least mixing it up now. Sprills the dive in. Red Power still being built behind this. Kiljadi starting to lose the fight. And this is without the Kurultai, remember. That thing died a while ago. Red Palace looks like it might just about get up, but it's going to come at a cost. Eco lead now given over. Military lead most definitely in favor of the Mongols, but the technology lead lies with one man. One myth, one legend. The Duck. All of a sudden, Voldemar's going to have to take a much slower approach to this. If he wants to raid, it's going to have to be elsewhere, and it's going to have to be fast. Crossbow stirrups just got queued up. Golden Hat upgrade for the Arbitrary as well. Food had been pulled. So right now, Kiljardi is a little bit weak on the economy. But Voldemar, it looks like he's slowing down for Imperial himself. I don't know if I like that here. It's difficult, right? Like, I think this is one of the most frustrating things about France is, same with Jeanne, if they get that Age 4 landmark, you kind of have to follow them because diving TCs and keeps hurts due to Arbalest placements, right? He has still got the Sacred Site win condition, you are correct, and that's why I kind of want to see him aggro a bit here. You don't have to dive past the TC, right? You don't have to deal with the Red Palace type effect, but what you can at least do is block wood and gold from your opponent, right? Those are the exhaust points you're looking for here. Wall's gonna break. Keep coming up behind this. Kiljardi may have just gotten another one up in the nick of time here to save his life. And Voldemar hesitates. He chooses the safer route here. White Stupa now on the way. I don't know why I always choose to say Stupa like I'm German, but am I the only one? It sounds kind of more adorable, right? Like, I know it's a White Stupa, but White Stupa. Which I guess it's like not even German. It might just be more Sean Connery. Sacred Sites are still locked in temporarily, and I mean temporarily. I don't see a world in which you should be able to hold these. Then again, maybe Voldemar has a bunch of stone together, you get some cannon emplacements, becomes a bit more feasible. I love the fact that you're playing French, you lost your School of Cavalry quite a while ago, and it kind of tells you everything you need to know about late game France that he's not even rebuilding it. Like, oh, this thing doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Have we really got an archer approach from Voldemar? Isn't that like the quickest way to lose the game against late game France? Like, think about the units that France is going to build here, right? There's two possibilities as the core. They're going to spam horsemen, which archers lose to, or they're going to spam arbitrary, which archers, funnily enough, also lose to, because you've got crossbow stirrups decreasing the attack speed, and then you've also got Pavis, giving extra range and ranged armor. This is a confusing choice by Voldemar. I mean, it's one thing to upgrade them, it's the fact that he's still investing in them as well. We'll see if they're worth it. Decap coming in, that's going to force the fight. Voldemar, he's never, ever getting that Kurultai back. I think he knows he can't take this as well, surely. I mean, you can't just send the mangoes in, right? You can't rush them in. Shutter Triggers isn't here. Like, this is the unfortunate reality. Voldemar, maybe if Shutter Triggers was queued up immediately, it'd be a bit better. But this is going to be rough. And you are correct. Voldemar is indeed trading. Looks like we're up to 18 traders on the backside. But his win condition on the center has been removed. The upside is Voldemar has hidden this trade quite well. Kiljardi doesn't know about it, and also if Kiljardi was to trade, Voldemar would know about it due to the outpost rule. So what's the strategy now for Kiljardi? Well, if he doesn't think this trade, he'll probably take a very slow approach to this, thinking that he can starve his opponent out. That, of course, is going to be a mistake here, but what you have to realize is when you're in Kiljardi's position, if you don't think there's a possibility of trade, you don't play aggressive. He should understand, though, especially as a guy who plays more Mongols than most players right now, trade should be a given, even without Silver Tree at this stage. So I like that he's starting to add in Horsemen. He's going to discover the problem at the back quite quick. Outpost crawl continues, so Voldemar will have confirmation there is no long-term gold gains. Once the map is dried, it will just be Guildhall providing for the French. Another reason why those keeps are going to be important, remember, they give the discount. You can see, nice little chunk of change at the top. Would love to see him go for enlistment incentives. I think it's definitely worth it as you get deep into the game like this. Kiljardi. Cheeky little raid coming in. Textiles plus Yam will get him out pretty quickly from that. And Voldemar immediately queues up the hand cannoneers. Oh, this is going to get spicy. Improved raiding also on the way. Elite status and military academy coming in. So this, yeah, this is the correct approach. One thing that makes Mongols feel atrocious in late game, unless they have a huge lead, they can't defend. They can't wall, right? So defending is always a difficulty for them. It's why they have Yam, right? So they can move their army quickly into position. But this is why horseman strats are always super effective at this stage of the game, right? You take the fastest moving unit that you can build, and you just run it down the flanks. And even if you get blocked out, something gets through. Eco gets lost. Ground gets given over. It's one of the biggest resounding weaknesses of the Mongols, is they just can't maintain map control against dynamic civs like this. Not without a substantial lead. And they really don't have one here. 116 eco to 107. How does Voldemar break this? He goes back in time, he gets a Karna, and then he gets a Hui Hui Pal. I mean, it kind of feels that way, right? Like, sniping this red pal is going to be very difficult. Horsemen are actually going to charge on in. Arbitrary need to be careful. Sprints have been sniped out. However, that front line is disintegrating. Oh my god. Voldemar, he can't stay here. How the hell could he not kill this many horsemen? I mean, how else? It's mass archers versus horsemen and men-at-arms. There was only one way it was going to go. Second line is also just made up of archers here, which means it's made up of lies. This is not a strong army. This is about as weak as it gets. This is Voldemar flexing his muscles, his arms, as he goes for that 90-degree angle, and there's no movement on the bicep whatsoever. Arbitrary diving deeper. Horsemen have now reached the mangoes, and I think that is going to be it. I just don't think Voldemar has production on his side anymore is the issue here. He has a little bit of food, a little bit of gold in the bank. But the numbers just don't make sense anymore. Final mango goes down. A lot of crossbows dive for this, but now it has opened the floodgates for mass horsemen with rural bloodlines. Reset comes out from Kiljardi as he backs off and gets ready for the next wave, this time with Arbitrary that have got incendiary arrows. And good question about the choice of comp. You do not build knights here because your opponent could easily just be going, say, spears or hand cannoneers, right? Like, you don't really need them. Arbitrary are just more cost efficient. On a civ that doesn't typically just immediately jump into trade, you need to be responsible with your gold, right? And that's also then you have to get all the upgrades on your knights, because I think he hasn't built them since Feudal, right? So they're still not even cast late variety. It's a lot of gold. It's just not worth it compared to horsemen, right? Like, you can get one knight, or you could get 2.5 Arbitrary. Oh no, not again. The hand cannoneers get caught out. I mean, the problem right now for Voldemar is he just simply doesn't have a front line. So this hand cannoneer mass doesn't really feel that massive. If I'm not mistaken, this should just be a target on the trade now. If Kiljardi just goes for the eco here, like the eco that is running in a line to the south of the base, Voldemar will probably end up just tapping out. Okay, this castle's annoying as all hell. Kiljardi, second wave coming in now. It's kind of crazy, right? Like, when you play French, it just feels so much better to play Arbitrary than the hand cannoneers. The hand cannoneers are better, but like Arbitrary, with crossbow strips, gambesons, considering the cost of them with all those details, it just feels like a much more efficient comp to push. I think it only really becomes a thought to go hand cannoneers when you have insane amounts of food and gold. Looks like Horsemen have found the hand cannoneers out in the mid-map. I don't know why Voldemar sent them out here like this. I mean, sure, a lot of Horsemen die, but to kill gunners, 100% worth it. More ground being gained elsewhere, and what worries me is what I'm seeing in the mid-map. It's stone. Remember, this is a red palace build, which means a lot of Arbalists in placements and keeps. Kiljardi is full Magano lining this. He's just crawling across the map, building defense after defense. So that each time he loses a wave, there's no comeback, right? Like, Voldemar can't immediately jump back at you and punish you. And this all began with this particular landmark. This thing is disgusting, man. Like, I still don't understand why. In some ways, I get it, because, you know, the Civ kind of feels like it's weak in other places, I guess, at the moment. And we're seeing that with the performances on ladder. But once that Red Palace comes online, it feels like the fear of God goes into your enemies. Down through continues, more ground being given over. And the Horsemen are starting to hit the trade as well. Voldemar holding on by the skin of his teeth here. But that means now if your army's busy clearing up the Horsemen in the back, who's left to defend the main? Pavis drop coming in. And Spearmen aren't great here. I mean, the Pavis, it's kind of insane. The 9 armor just allows you to stand your ground against this. Horseman might change his mind a little bit. Or not. It just stands up against this. And all of a sudden, Kiljardi, after his opponent has hand cannons and has spears. Wait, what? What? No, 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 no. This is how you lose games of Age of Empires. He isn't trade efficient yet, or sufficient, or even existent. He doesn't have a single trader. But he just decided to queue up a bunch of knights. I think this is a problem right now. I mean, if Kiljardi just keeps dancing around the flanks of mass horsemen, over time, Voldemar is going to struggle to hold the map, right? But knights are notably slower and more expensive to lose. And you're doing this into mass spearmen and hand cannoneers. Guildhall is... Okay, there you go. He's got 6.2k, but... I mean, still. This feels too early for the knights. And it looks like he agrees, going back to the horsemen. Kiljardi finds the mass eco, though. And all of a sudden, those knights might actually be worthwhile. If only they could touch a target. You can feel it slipping. Voldemar, as good of a job as he's done to hold on to this game at this stage, it's only getting harder. Outpost also just being taken out to make sure that the Yam network doesn't extend. And now you're diving into a castle with Arbalists emplacements. It's going to become not worth it quite quickly here. Front line is going to fail him. Back line is going to have to fold. And that is most of the hand cannoneers, actually. If that goes down, Voldemar won't have the critical mass to defend anymore. Oh my god! The Knights bait him onto the Treb! Hand cannoneers down to single digits now. This is getting out of hand. 40 versus 20 military. Second wave comes in, and the Trebuchet has to leave. And there's no doubt in it now. Like, this is over. Voldemar's income cannot keep up with this. It's 1.4k versus over 2k on food. And food really is making the world go round right now. The meat grinder never stops for the French. What an insane game. For the way this game started, for how it looked, so simple for GG for Voldemar. Into the recovery arc of Kiljardi, and then the back and forth we've had since. To get to this stage, I mean, it shows props from both players, right? That this one at least stayed tight from start to finish. Now I fear it might be finished. Close to anyway. Cannons have now arrived. Horsemen not immediately getting all the trader kills in the world. But I'm more worried about the main base. Like, you've got keep drops coming in and you've got cannons that if Kiljardi realizes are on a coffee break attacking a Gur, could actually put their efforts towards taking down something a lot more valuable. Now, Voldemar, how many traders are we up to here? Because this is a lot, right? Yeah, 50 traders. The problem I'm just seeing in this game is that I don't think gold is his problem at all. Food is. Wood is also kind of becoming a problem here, right? Like, he's playing straggler trees and small groupings because the center of the map has been dominated by French keep drops. Stone hits the deck. Only 2 landmarks left. Remember, one of them is sitting in this base over here. Outposts are going to be taken out by the villager rush out. Looks like we have got a cannon emplacement on the way at least. So, wait, what? No, we don't. What is going... Is it that? Like, what is that bar? What? I'm so confused right now. Oh, wait. Oh, you're right. It wasn't... It actually wasn't finished. What? All right, that's full cap. Good eyes, Mr. Hosen. Well, the arbitrary ball is ready to go. One upside, at least, for the Mongols here is if he can convert this into a siege war, then actually Voldemar could have a way back in via that, right? Because remember, he has the improved shot triggers, so you can't actually anti-siege him. You have to kill his siege with horsemen. So, like, in a weird way, if Voldemar just plays Springalds, Spears, and Mangoes, that's a comp that actually could work. Oh, God, no. Okay, well, abort. Abort. No. Voldemar, please tell me he's noticed. I don't think he has. The traders just keep running into their death. Oh, my God. The knights finally paid off. He just realized, but that comes at a heavy cost. Voldemar losing half the traders. Still more to fall. At a critical juncture as well, right? Like, food was starting to catch up, but now gold starts to just fail you. Absolutely wild game. And I'm pretty sure Kiljardi, okay, he has pulled the gold out recently. That's how he's able to get into all these arbitraries ignites. So he needs to get a lot of traders out ASAP, and he has. He's up to 29 himself. So this game is never ending. Shouldn't say things that I know could be true. This one could have some distance still left in it. Now keep in mind, actually, the French trade versus Mongol trade. Mongol's still better, but French aren't that bad because of this detail. He gets gold trickle. He's got the French... Wait, what? No? Okay, he doesn't have merchant guilds. That's a big no-no at this stage. You're 30 traders deep. It's definitely worth it. Voldemar. Has he got his number now? Castles are starting to fail. The problem remains now that it's about siege, right? And if it's about siege, Voldemar has the edge. If this just kept turning into him dancing around the map and Voldemar chasing, great, Kiljardi wins. But he needs so many horsemen just to kill a few pieces of siege here. Mango's getting targeted out. I don't think it's enough. Unbelievable. Kiljardi maybe about to lose control of the map. He can't afford to right now. Not with the trade, just setting up like this. Elite army tactics also now coming in from Voldemar. Guy is renowned for his Chinese. He's basically playing a form of Chinese here. Build spears, build siege, and eventually build some hand cannoneers. Pretty much ticks all the boxes the Chinese want to do. Kiljardi needs to buy a little bit of time, so he's going to have to back up into the base, allow all that is in the center to go down. That means a lot of wood being given over, but luckily for him, he's picked up a lot of wood. He's still got a lot in reserve. Unluckily for him, he currently does not have a good answer to the Mongol siege. And this is his attempt to get one. He's trying to mass more Springalds than the Voldemar's Mongols have. That's a difficult thing to even win with because of the extra range. Before you get in range, you're going to lose 1 or 2 Springalds. Could we be at the end of this? Is there a way that Voldemar could throw this one back towards Kiljardi? Not with the current things that Kiljardi's doing. If you were Jeanne, sure. But you're not Jeanne. You're just standard French, right? You don't have that attack speed aura. You don't have that rejuvenation. You don't have that consecration to make you efficient on more buildings than just archery ranges and stables. It's a big load of problems, is what I just listed there. Especially for a guy who needs actually discounts on a siege. Voldemar Trebs moving in range for the castles. Gonna go for the siege workshop first. Arbitrary trying to stand their ground while the horsemen wrap round. But the spearmen are chasing and they are hunting. A few horsemen will make it through to the Trebs. But once again, you gotta ask the question, is it enough? A resounding no seems to light the outcome here. Kiljardi down to just 30 military pop. Voldemar up at 75. Even without the Kurultai, for over 30 minutes, he is doing it. Siege works, another advantage that Voldemar's had for a long time. One that now Kiljardi's only answering into himself. No merchant guild still, which means limited gold income. And I can't believe it. He's doing it to him. Voldemar. No, guys, calm down. That is a misclick. No way does he actually want the Magadai. He even cancels them. And I don't think Kiljardi has built more siege workshops. Problem after problem for the Duck. Castle about to go down. And remember, even if Kiljardi had shutter triggers, it wouldn't matter. It's improved shutter triggers. You can never outdo the Mongol siege in anti-siege. Horsemen have got around the back, but I have a feeling it might be a little bit too late here. Another castle down. The floodgates have opened. Voldemar, for the love of God, stop tearing those up. Do you want me to blow your mind? Voldemar done all this without military academy. Are you freaking kidding me? Well, it turns out the boy who lived through that mid-game has not come to die, but deliver death itself. I mean, Kiljardi, he definitely has a bigger economy, but the issue is going to be getting the military to defend this. He's got plenty of wood. That's great for Rams. But you can't even try to landmark sneak your opponent here, right? We're talking about a Civ that can just pack their landmarks up and leave. I cannot think of a worse Civ to try and sneak a Ram victory against. What an insane game. This is what I live for, by the way. This is what I get up each day. I open Age of Empires for. I start up a stream and cast my heart out for. A 50-minute game that deserved to be 50 minutes long. None of this sit in your base and play pat cake for 20 minutes. None of this peace, 10 minutes, question mark. No. This game has been relentless. This is what Age of Empires 4 is meant to be. In its purest form. And all it took was the two weakest civs in the game. Arbitrary standing their ground. They've got Gambusers to keep them kind of chunky here, but the Spearmen are actually getting good trades. Things have slowed down a little bit as Voldemar needs to recalibrate his production to move in. That's why you need a military academy. Bombards are mopping up everything behind those spears. Another castle hits the deck. We are at risk of Kiljardi losing trade. Without it, the game is forfeit. Only 14 knights queued up. Only. Why do I say only? Because they're running into 30 hand cannoneers and 30 spears. This one is done. We had to watch, we had to anticipate the possibility that a slip-up, a mistake could be made. God knows there was a few of them on the way, but in the end, Voldemar has done enough. Last wave of the Knights likely to be in this game, and he knows it as well. GG is called. Voldemar, he could have had this game in 10 or 15, but no, he had to make it one of the most entertaining 50-plus minute games we've had.